Hello, and welcome back to Math 8. This is a section over Unit 3, Section 3. And what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be exploring association. So we're going to analyze the correlation and association in scatter plots. So correlation is, the correlation of variables describes the association or relationship between the variables in a scatter plot. So we have three different types of correlation. So positive correlation that goes up to the right. We have negative correlation, which goes down to the left, and then no correlation, which would either go like that, or if there is no cluster, that would also be the case. Okay. So let's take a look over here. So what we're doing is we're analyzing the age in years, okay, to a person to their height in inches. And what we find out that between the age of between 2 and 16, so the height in inches is increasing. So let's write that over here. So in this table, so as age increases, okay, the height in inches also increases. All right, and so what you have is this is a positive correlation. All right, correlation. All right, and that's what we're working with. All right, so now let's take a look at some examples and see, does the scatter plot show a correlation? If it does, what is it? Okay, and what I see here is that in this graph here, as x gets big, the y values are getting small. Okay, so we're doing one of these. All right, so I'm going to draw a line that fits the data. We'll talk about this in the next section, but that's my line that fits. So what we have, and so does the scatter plot show a correlation? Yes, and we would call that a negative correlation. Okay. Let's talk about this one over here. Does this scatter plot show a correlation? And yes, it does, because what I have is as x increases, the y values increase, and we're going in this direction. So yes, and this one is positive. Okay? On the next one, does this scatter plot show a correlation? And this one does not. Okay, so this does not show a correlation. All right, and all we're doing, and all we're looking at is to see as x increases, does the y value increase? And what we see is that we have a lot of random points that things are just kind of going, across like that, okay? In this one, let me draw a little trend line in here to show that these are in a positive direction. So just looking to see if these, show any sort of correlation, okay? So the next thing that we need to talk about is the association of variables, okay? Now, association is how well the points, so let's write this, how well the points are grouped, okay? And we'll talk about that. All right, so that's what association is. So we have linear association in this example, okay, and we have nonlinear association. So linear association means that the points, points can be fitted by a line. And what I mean by fitted is that I should, if we have a linear association, that means that my points show a linear relationship, that as x increases, y increases for this example, okay? In a nonlinear associations, okay, the points, all right, let's write this, that the points are fitted by a curve. Okay, so I can't just draw a line here that goes like this, okay? I can't do that. But what I can do, let me go in and erase this real quick, okay? All right, is that I can draw a curve that fits the data, okay? So we have this part where we increase and then all of a sudden we decrease, and so that's why we would have a nonlinear association, okay? Sometimes there is no association or correlation, okay? So in this case, okay, this has no correlation, okay, and no association. Can't spell this morning. Okay. On the other one, all right, this is something where we would have a positive correlation. And we can also call this the slope, okay? And, positive correlation, slope, and linear association, they all kind of mean the same thing. But this would have a positive slope, okay? Because we have a positive correlation. Okay, and so we could draw a line here that has that. Now over here, this one has a negative correlation. So if you can draw a line that fits the data, okay, this would have a negative correlation / slope. Okay, all right, let's take a look at over here. This is an example of where we would have zero slope or no correlation. So no correlation and zero slope kind of mean the same thing, but also over here where we have no slope, an undefined slope, also has no correlation. So, if we draw this line in here, okay, our slope m is equal to 0. If I draw a line in here, okay, this slope is undefined, okay, because it's vertical. So what you have to understand is that correlation, all right, has to be either positive or negative. Now, you could have various instances where where you don't have correlation, but you have different types of data sets. So so here's the important thing, okay? So we have to identify the type of slope, okay, when we're talking about correlation. So you have to identify the type of slope, all right? All right, now let's talk about levels of association. Now what we have here is, you could have data points that have a pretty good correlation, okay, or association. Now this, if I draw a line here, okay, that fits the data, okay, strong association means that the points are very, very, very close to the line. Okay? Over here, this would be a weak association because if I draw in my trend line, the points, okay, aren't as close to our line. Okay, so that would be an example of weak association versus strong association. So a lot of this stuff, guys, is just identifying what we're dealing with here and, what kind of, scatter plots we're dealing with. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.